Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
Oh, man, it is early in the morning, and these star ratings are fresh, Larson.
Unlike those other guys.
Other guys. That's right. Here at Friendo Club Wrestling, we don't wait a whole week. We don't wait a whole or month or whatever it is. I don't even know what it is.
Waiting 24 hours, man.
We're barely waiting 10 hours from the end of the show, or at least the end of our review. Anyways, we're here with our star ratings for AEW's Full Gear. I'm anxious to hear what you thought about the show, Larson. And, of course, we want the friendos to let us know their star ratings in the comments below here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Larson, what match are we going to give our star ratings for first?
So we'll start off in 0 hour. I don't know how much you saw of Eddie versus Jay Lethal or Claudio versus Buddy Matthews. So we'll start with the Ring of Honor Tag Team title match. I know we watched that one together.
Absolutely.
The Guns challenging champion MJF and his partner for the day, Samoa Joe. How many stars did you give this match, Steve?
Let me take a look here at my star rating system. That's right. It's right here. I gave this one 3 1/4. I thought it was a fun match. Samoa Joe and MJF, they didn't hit the, maybe if they hit the double mizzle bizzle, then I would have given this a higher star rating. Thought it was perfectly entertaining stuff. Nothing overwhelming. Adam Cole coming out for the distraction. Got the win. Got the assist there for MJF and Samoa Joe. 3 1/4. Thought it was a fine match.
They were aligned right at the get-go. 3 1/4.
Patra's aligned.
Exactly. A full half-star bonus. They'd hit the double muscle buster.
Agree
At
with
least
that
a half-star bonus. Maybe got up all the way up to 4 stars. I don't know. Fun match. There was a couple instances like maybe the Guns have a chance, even though I knew they didn't. When Joe is MJF's partner, they ain't losing.
Yeah.
They ain't losing.
Not happening.
Unless Joe's like, all right, I'm here. I'm your partner. I fulfilled my duties. I'm out.
Yeah.
Then maybe that didn't happen here. 3 1/4. Fun bout. But that's kind of the extent of it. Next,
bitch.
first match on the main card. You got Christian. You got Luchasaurus. You got Nick Wayne taking on Edgy Adam Copeland, Sting, Darby Allin. There's another match that was perfectly fine, fun enough. It advanced to a degree the story with Edge and Christian as much as it's going to, in that Christian doesn't want to be one-on-one with Edge. We're going to get that for a little bit until they have their match and Edgy Adam Copeland wins.
Yeah.
Darby keeps on taking ridiculous bumps.
Yeah.
With that choke slam spot from Luchasaurus. Kind of surprised Luchasaurus got the pin here, but again, it was preceded by Christian blasting him in the head accidentally with the TNT title. Another 3 1/4 bout here. Perfectly fun, perfectly fine. Didn't really go much beyond that.
So, our Contras are basically aligned here. I gave it a little bit more just for the theatrics of all the face paint for Edgy Adam Copeland.
A quarter
Sting
point
and
for
Darby.
face paint, huh?
and the gnarly Darby Allin bump. I know we get that every match, but I got to reward a little bit more for that gnarly bump that he always takes. And this one was particularly gnarly on the apron. This dude, I feel like he needs to take a vacation on Mount Everest, man. That's how I feel. This kid needs to get away from AEW for a bit. So I gave it 3 1/2. It felt like a pay-per-view match. And so I gave it that extra stank. But I was definitely waffling between 3 1/4 and 3 1/2 for sure.
Very well. Next match.
Next bitch.
International Championship bout. Orange Cassidy defending against Jon Moxley. Steve, you're up.
I like the simple pro wrestling stories. Moxley all of a sudden decides, hey, your orange punch don't mean shit to me, son. And I honestly didn't know who's going to win this match going into it. And even down towards the finish, I was like, I don't know. This is pretty intriguing. Go either way. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was a really fun match. I thought it was awesome.
Not far off. I gave it a 3 3/4. I do kind of wish they had let the story breathe. I understand circumstances with Mox's injury. That probably was the case. That was going to happen, where they're going to take the duration of Mox's title reign to tell the story of Orange, kind of, building up the gumption, having the ingredients to eventually dethrone Moxley. They kind of had to rush that. Nonetheless, it was a really fun match. 3 3/4. I think that's a solid score.
I think it's a solid score, man.
Next match.
Next bitch.
Toni Storm winning the AEW Women's Championship from Hikaru Shida. Timeless Toni Storm. You got 2 awesome, fantastic wrestlers in the ring. You got Toni Storm doing some of the best character work in all of wrestling right now. Even when there's a bit of a mistiming, a bit of a mess up, Toni Storm manages to salvage it and make it something. That spot where she does close up leading into what was supposed to be the finishing sequence. Timing was a little off. Toni Storm still made the best of it because she knows her character. She knows how to wrestle as her character, even in those moments. I gave it 3 3/4 stars. I thought it was really inventive with the saucer or whatever. She tucked that under her britches, her trunks, the hip attack to win. She's in a really good spot where the crowd loves her, yet she's not a prototypical babyface. She cheats to win.
Yeah.
But the more she does that, the more she's going to endear herself to the crowd because her character work is so good. 3 3/4 stars.
Kostra's aligned. I gave it 3 3/4 as well, and I'm really anxious to see where Toni Storm goes from here as champion. Again, a situation. I think MJF's been booked really well as a babyface champion. Be interesting with Toni Storm, who's clearly a babyface, who's a heel, and that's a great spot to be in. She's so damn entertaining. I want to know what happens next. Yeah, I gave it 3 3/4. It's hard to give it anything more than that because, like, number one, they didn't. How long? I don't even know how much time they gave this match. I don't think it was a very long match. But yeah, no, it was good. Had that good comedy element to it. So I really like this.
Next
bitch.
4-way tag team ladder match. Had the champions Ricky Starks and Big Bill against FTR, LFI, and House of Black. Steve, what'd you give this one?
I thought this match was really good. It was a really fun match. Let's see, where's my thing? Yeah, I don't know. I felt like there was, and I don't even know what necessarily it was. Maybe it's because it's a ladder match and it's not like, a heated 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 thing with a tag match. I gave it 3 3/4. I thought it was fine. I thought they did a really good job. I don't know if it ever elevated. I don't know that it lived up to the sum of its parts necessarily. I felt two of the teams really didn't have a chance to win this thing in the first place. I thought this was basically FTR or Starks and Big Bill to win. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I might have given it more had I really been given the idea that, two of these other teams could have won this thing if they really did a good job, maybe with the build or the match itself. But, yeah, I gave it 3 3/4. Thought it was fine.
Yeah, I'm not too far off. I gave it 4. There were some pretty inventive spots. That bit where Malachi used the ropes to fling the ladder. I forgot who was in whose face it went, but I thought that was pretty cool and inventive. Yeah, I wish they had invested a bit more time in developing the story between the 4 teams, and then followed through and told some of those stories during the match. A lot of this has felt like, all right, we just want to beat the heck out of each other, and we're going to do a bunch of impactful moves. But it didn't necessarily have the intensity or drama behind it of, say, a match we're going to talk about later, where there was a lot of brutal segments, but it was all motivated by character and story.
Yeah.
And in my mind, that's what really separates a pretty good match from a stellar 5-star match. So I gave this 4 stars. This is a pretty good ladder match. But wish there's just a bit more story. But the story going into this match was super convoluted anyway. So
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Next.
Chris
Statlander defending the TBS title and losing to Julia Hart. Also, Sky Blue in the match. Another really fun match here.
Yeah.
Some really creative stuff. The sequence which led to Sky Blue hitting that first code blue was awesome.
It was, yeah.
The finish I thought was really good, where Chris hits her finisher. Julia Hart hits her with a sliding clothesline, then covers Sky Blue to get the win. The intrigue about whether Sky Blue, given that her transformation was complete while she was making her entrance for the match, was going to lead to her aligning or working with Julia. It happened for a moment before Julia took it to Sky Blue. Another 3 3/4 match. I thought this was really good.
I actually gave this one 4 stars because, yeah, everything you just said. And I thought the pace never let up. I thought there was intrigue between Julie and Sky Blue. I thought they delivered on an absolutely fantastic match. I gave it 4 stars.
It was really good. Next, I mean, what can we say about it that we haven't already said? Swerve Strickland defeating Hangman Page in a Texas death match. Steve, go ahead.
I gave this 5 1/4, which I don't know what my top rating for the year is.
I think it was 5.5.
Yeah, I think it was a Danielson match, maybe. But this would have gotten, and here's the thing, I'm giving this by far, by like a full star, I think. The highest rating on the card. This is a match of the year candidate. I think I probably would have given it like 5.5 or even higher than that if I can't get the image of Brian Cage with them Wrangler jeans out of my head. I feel like Prince Nana was savvy, and he's a savvy enough manager to give us enough of a distraction or, interference in this match without Brian Cage having to lumber his ass down there. So I gave this 5 1/4. It's still an awesome look. I can't say enough great things about this match. I'm only saying why I didn't give it a ridiculously high score.
Yeah.
And that's because Brian Cage and his Jordache scenes.
Yeah. I didn't hold that against this match. I'm a believer in a firm upper limit. 5 stars is probably about as high as I'm ever going to go for a match.
Okay.
If you have a 5-star scale, you shouldn't be busting your 5-star scale. That's my personal belief. Don't hold against anybody else. They have a different belief. That being said, I can't say enough great things about this match. 5 stars. If I did go higher than 5 stars, I would go higher than 5 stars. This and Danielson Starks, the strap match, are the 2 finest matches in AEW in 2023. In my belief, this might even be one of these 2 matches will be my match of the year. I'm feeling like at this juncture. 5 stars. Fantastic bout. Hats off to Swerve and Hangman for just delivering a hell of a fight. It was great.
That was a killer match. Absolutely
Great.
Killer match, yeah.
Next, I'm interested to get your take on this one, so I'm going to have you go first. Young Bucks losing to the Golden Jet, Steve. What do you think?
Man, I guess it ain't their fault that they had to go up right on after the match of the year. But like the first, I don't know how long this match was. Probably
2.
like 20
That's
minutes.
the answer. 2. Too long.
I gave it. Well, two is right. I gave it 2.5 stars.
Wow.
Bro, I'm sorry, man. I don't give a shit about this story.
No,
they didn't make me do anything to give a shit about this story. The Golden Jets, come on. They're not even a real tag team.
I know.
And they beat the Young Bucks.
I know.
To take their tag team title spot. There is some good shit down the line, but if I'm starting like the Wrestling Observer himself at 2 stars is like a normal match, that last part of the match was like half a star. The one segment where Kenny Omega was like, who should I hit with my V-trigger? Chris Jericho, or should I hit the other dude that I like? And then he like swerves us all. Mildly inventive, but otherwise they gotta bring something more than the Young Bucks are all of a sudden temper tantrums. This match didn't do nothing for me. 2.5 stars. What is this? Get this out. This isn't a pay-per-view match. They should have had the street fight. The Paul White getting slammed. They should have done that match for this pay-per-view.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That was a pay-per-view match. This is not a pay-per-view match. This is Collision at best.
This is, I don't disagree. I guess I was a little more forgiving. I agree the first 2/3 of this match is like 2 stars. But I thought after that moment you mentioned where Kenny was like, am I going to V-trigger Jericho or Nick Jackson? I thought it picked up after that because Kenny Omega was carrying the offense for the Golden Jets.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the Young Bucks throwing temper tantrums. At least they're doing something. I gave it 3 1/4. I thought the end was pretty solid. I could have done without Jericho kicking out of the BTE trigger.
Look at you. Oh, did they? I'm sorry. Are they naming a move a Larson driver?
Yeah,
now?
I didn't
Is
tell
that
you
what's
yet.
going
That's
on
happening.
here?
Yeah.
L trigger. Is that what Kenny's renaming his name?
Yes.
L effect, Larson effect,
and trigger. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Hey, fair enough though, man. Fair enough. I saw this. I was like, man, I just want to go to the I just want to go to the merch table. If they had more than one merch table, I'd have gone.
Even though I gave it more than 3 stars. Because if you take it outside of the context of when it's happening on the card, I guess if this was a main event for Dynamite, it'd be a really good main event for Dynamite.
Yeah, I mean, in a vacuum, it's like fine, but I don't know, kind of trash.
I mean,
it's kind of trash. Also,
my disinterest in the story, yeah, for sure, I get that. Anyways, the whole time this tag match is going on, I was like, all right, what's going to happen in the main event? We'll talk about that next. MJF ultimately successfully defending the AEW World Championship against Jay White. Again, in a bubble, if you take it outside, if you for a second don't consider some of the circumstances leading into this match that kind of strained your suspension of disbelief. That is MJF being too hurt to wrestle yet. Adam Cole, who's had surgery on his ankle, who's on crutches and a walking boot, is cleared or told he can't compete. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, right.
If you get beyond all that, the match itself is really, really good. The crowd was invested in a match that conceivably Jay White should have won in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Nonetheless, they got more than about a half hour, I think, out of this match.
They did, yeah.
And, hats off to MJF, busting out new stuff. Seemingly every match now, that jumping cutter over the top rope was incredible.
Yeah,
there was supposed to be an announce table spot. Announce table just fell apart like a house of cards when Jay White went on it. Nonetheless, MJF went up, dropped the top rope elbow. That had to have hurt. I gave this match 4 1/4. I thought it was really, really good. And it's kind of a bummer that some of the stuff that led to the match kind of maybe took away from it in some people's eyes. But still, I think it's really good. 4 1/4.
I think it was a stellar match. I'm very close to you. I gave it actually 4.5 because, I mean, some of the stuff leading to it. I'll be honest with you. I didn't even mind some of the stuff leading into it. Why? Because intrigue, because it kept us wondering, what the hell are they going to do with this? How are they going to work this? It's something we should have seen coming a mile away. MJF shows up in an ambulance, but I love that. I love the ridiculousness of it. You know me. I love the absurdity of pro wrestling sometimes. And I thought those guys went out there and absolutely killed themselves. I personally, I know that in like a sort of in the macro sense, in a larger big picture sense, I understand why people say it makes Jay White look weak. On paper, I could see that. Oh, he loses to a guy with one leg. But when you actually watch the match, it's like, oh, okay. They did a good job of, I'm not going to say making Jay White look strong, but making me understand why he lost this match that he should not have lost. And so, for that, I sing its praises, man. I gave it 4.5 stars.
Really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Absolutely.
Let us know what you think. What are your star ratings in the comments below?
Your fresh star ratings. You guys should have had these things ready by midnight last night after the card was done. Well, West Coast, of course. Y'all should have this ready to go to drop in our comments. So what are you waiting for? Let us know your star ratings in the comments below. Hit that sub button, hit that like button. Thanks for watching. Till next time, we'll see you around.
Goodbye.